Relative motion loading is one of the most powerful character animation workflows that exists in Lightwave. It allows you to prepare a saved motion in such a way where you can make your character's movement relative to their leg proportions, current position, and orientation in 3D space. On top of this, you can actually rotate the character and the motion adapts as you would expect from doing such an action, which results in greater accuracy in regards to hand and foot placement. This clip demonstrates what I'm talking about. Notice how when I load the motions, the character continues where they left off. This almost eliminates the burden of having to reposition your character every time you load a clip. This used to be a huge problem in a lot of my earlier productions, and it really hindered my ability to build a useful motion library. Let's test out our newly created motion on a scene with no existing animation. I'll also rotate the character 45 degrees and move them off center so that we can observe the effect of relative motion loading. Premix of about 6, then loading the run cycle, we'll see that the character steps start out small until the run cycle is fully faded at frame 6. I'm going to show you how to create what I call a relative pose. First, we want to load the pose we just made at the last frame of the run animation. When I load up the run cycle on this frame, the pose gets transposed to the end of this motion and the character gradually fades into it to correspond with the post-mix value entered. The scalar null can also be used to globally adjust binded animation, and now we can move and rotate the character or tweak a bunch of other stuff. Say that you're making this character climb some stairs for a director who is a complete jerk and they keep changing things on you. They decide suddenly that they want the first few steps to be uneven because for some reason it looks better in the camera. Okay, and then they decide later that they want the stairway to be a spiral one instead of a straight one. Getting the character oriented to match the staircase? Done. Because the rotation of the bones are influencing how the character moves. So, if we move the character's foot at a keyframe just before a bake spot activates, it adapts the entire animation to correspond with those changes. If we want to have the vertically challenged IKBot 3 climb these stairs, we don't have to create a unique animation for this guy. We can simply edit a motion that already exists, auto bind enabled. You'll notice that you can steer the character around in any direction, including their pitch and bank. When you paste this into LScript Commander from Notepad, and execute it after loading any motion capture clip into your relative setup scene, you should get solid results every single time. Specifically, how to adapt a custom character rig for use with Nevron instead of having to use the Genoma Nevron rig, and open it whenever you need to use Nevron to apply motion capture to your character. This is also a convenient way to take an animation library that might use one character rig and adapt its motions to a completely different one. IKBooster contains within it a way to apply dynamic, calculated motions, but know it represents 1-second intervals between these black lines. Hit OK, and now the bone chain will take into account your selection and the movement of parent objects when determining its swings. So if we wanted to have someone's hand grab this chain, it is effortless to set up. And let's say that I want to let Dynamics take care of the chain's movement from this last frame onward. Calculate, and at the end of the baked range, we can easily revert to hand keying. When I run the simulation, the chain goes crazy and the calculation time skyrockets. Your frames per second set somewhere between 40 and 120. This will not only increase the accuracy of the simulation, but it also greatly speeds up the calculations.